Have you ever been to see King's Cross where Sydney siders meet?
Have you ever been to see King's Cross where Sydney siders meet? There's a million faces going places, walking up and down the street. Like tourists everywhere in their travels do declare, I've seen the world, you can hear them crying. I'll bet you attended to a con man spy. You won't have seen the lot till the day you die if you haven't been to see King's Cross.
I think the cross has certainly changed over the years.
Changing, not the old style anymore, mate.
Some people keep King's Cross back in some sort of mythological past. It was more innocent or safer or more arty, etc.
I don't know the new King's Cross yet.
I wish to know where I am now. King's bloody Cross.
Going back to the old days, we had stars and performers. Today, you just don't see them around anymore.
Anything that was new in Australia was always new in King's Cross first. And the first place the sailors and immigrants would come would be King's Cross. That's because that's where all the newness came from. All the international food, international music, jazz, it all came off those ships.
It was buzzing, really wonderful. It was really great. I take it as a compliment. They used to think that I was this real lady coming out on the floor show and doing a dance.
Well, I know quite a few families, and I'm accepted into those families, you know.
It used to be a haven for outsiders, and this would happen from people all over Australia, and even the immigrants would come here because they were outsiders. Immigrants, prostitutes, runaways, all chucked in there together and supporting one another. And it's always been a place where you could come and be an outsider and be an insider.
There's nothing much left in the cross. If you go there today, you won't see much at all. It's sad in a way.
The area's undergone some major upheavals through the pre-Olympic and post-Olympic period.
The work that's gone on here now with the upgrading of the street, which is making it more attractive, trying to bring in a different type of resident and business. A lot of people believe that that will be wonderful, you know? And I hope it is.
We've got local problems with drugs and crime. We've got local problems with business mix. We've got perceptual problems with consumers that use the area.
Racy, sophisticated, sleazy, fun, good shopping, bad shopping.
Seduction, sensuality is part of the very nature of the place. You know, it encompasses all of the sort of sensuous nature of Sydney. Never feels flat or boring. There's just cafe after cafe. You walk down and you can smell the croissants baking and the smell of the jam and the butter on the hot bread and the smell of coffee and hot chocolate. If you closed your eyes, the sounds and the smells alone are wonderful. It's a surprise. You turn a bend and you suddenly come out at the top of a set of stairs and you're just looking out at the entire harbour up to the heads.
Art Deco that's rubbing shoulders with interwar functionalist architecture. We've got Italianate houses from the Victorian era, you've got the Spanish mission style, you've got the international style, you've got quite severe buildings designed by Harry Seidler, even a little bit of postmodernism snuck in here and there, so you've got a whole grab bag of all the various architectural styles that were fashionable.
King's Cross is visually linked to the city down William Street. William Street itself has always been, to be polite, a work in progress. Hopefully that will change with time.
There's a lot of long-term residents. I don't see any reason for change.
Luxury apartment blocks, we're talking upwards from $700,000 for a one-bedroom home. So that's been a significant change in the last few years. People like me and a lot of people who've lived here for years, it's a bit harder for us to afford to live here now.
They're trying to get rid of the poor people, the battlers, and putting bloody rich people in. It started off when millionaires wanted to kick the people out and put high-rise units in there worth millions of dollars. Wanting to move all the battling people out that made the character of the cross and put millionaires in there so they get the harbour side view. And to hell with the ordinary people that made the cross.
I would just hope that
they don't end up with a divide where, you know, it's on that side of the street, the really affluent people. On the next side of the street are people that are disenfranchised, you know, got no money, or, you know, they have trouble sort of feeding themselves and that.
My great fear is that the very well-heeled rich people moving into the area won't exhibit the same amount of tolerance that other people have before.
Because of the way it is, people are what they are. If you don't like it, you can go to hell.
We've got everything from politicians to street sweepers and everything in between, thank God. There's absolutely everybody in this area, and I think to try and put it into one category would be foolish.
I do hope that people who are moving in realise that this is a very different place from Double Bay or Bondi or Bankstown.
We're not a soft suburban area. We're not a family type of holiday destination. If people are looking for that, they wouldn't come to this area.
You can't sort of move to Chinatown and suddenly realise there are a lot of Chinese people there and start complaining about it.
And you can look for the positive side of it. If they've got money, maybe they'll throw some money at us. Maybe we're now being judgmental against them, going, well, they're not going to care. Well, maybe there's a big pile of them that will care.
King's Cross is going through a rapid change right now. There are some people who are living in the past who are not going to survive those changes. Those who adapt and change rapidly will flourish. There are going to be losers, of course.
They're trying to make it look like a trendy joint, you know, when it's not. It's King's Cross. Why take a character of a place that's so world-renowned?
I just think we've got to tidy up some of the businesses, but still not leave the mystery and the nostalgia and the history that the Cross has.
Well, I don't know. Time will tell, I guess. I think it's becoming more conscious of its literary and artistic heritage, which is good. But I just hope it doesn't turn into a kind of museum of what it used to be.
Hope. Hope that people can live here and enjoy living here.
It's not so much about buildings and footpaths and streetlights, it's about the people who will be moving in and how they will negotiate this area's history and its culture.
My gut feeling is it's probably going to become less a melting pot and less a mixture of different classes and types. Increasingly it'll become, like so much of Sydney is, an enclave of affluent people.
Unfortunately, because the street works have dragged on for so long, it's affected a lot of the businesses and a lot of people have gone broke.
And downhill while this is all here. It's going to be millionaire's paradise.
The wider Sydney community and eventually the world, the tourists that come here, they're going to see a rejuvenated, exciting part of Sydney that has, certainly in our case, some wonderful nightlife to offer, some wonderful food to offer.
Probably one of the things I want to be sure of is that others don't change some of those key elements that make up what's already a really good place. So it doesn't need a lot of work. It actually needs a lot of protection to allow that sort of organic change and growth to happen.
King's Cross has gone gangbusters.
The purpose is to fully expose that to all of the people that may wish to enjoy it, whether they live here or visit or work here.